What's going on, guys? It's your friend JP here, and today I want to do a little video on something that is a very familiar topic, which is clicking action on my dive watches. So matter of fact, I'm gonna do 4 of my dive watches. One of them is actual GMT, not a dive watch, but nonetheless, I wanted to show you guys the clicking sound. Although we all know that when it comes to the actual clicking sound, dive watches seem to be the one with the best action for obvious reasons, right? Because you're underneath the water, deep diving, so you want that bezel to be nice and firm and have a great clicking action and sound. Nonetheless, I want to show you guys the GMT just for the hell of it. But anyways, as you all know, it is tradition when you do a watch video to show the actual clicking action on the watches. Before I got into watches, I must admit that I thought it was stupid that people would show that, that part of the watch, right? The way it sounds. Until I got into watches and realized that it does make a difference. If you have a Rolex, for example, you know what I'm talking about. Owning 2 Rolexes, 2 subs, it really makes you feel more appreciative for the actual feature that the watch has. You don't realize how much technology it takes. I don't know if I want to say handcrafted technology, the way they build these watches, but what it takes to have that super strong and firm bezel that has the perfect feel and the perfect clicking sound. So now that I'm, in this watch world, I get to appreciate that part of a watch that many of you guys maybe not appreciate. Another thing that I appreciate a lot from the watch is the clasp. So since I'm already here, I might as well show you the clasp, why not? And again, once you understand and realize how important the clasp is to a watch, then you kind of have an appreciative for that part of the watch as well. You learn to appreciate a lot more than before. But we're gonna focus on the clicking sound and then we'll go from there. But I'm gonna show you guys which watches I'm talking about. So to start off, we're gonna show you guys my GMT Tudor. So here's the actual bezel. That's the clasp. So let's go ahead and take it off, this little holder, and let's go start off with showing you first of all the bezel. Now this bezel is very beautiful. It's aluminum. It is not ceramic. So the bezel, it's gorgeous, but the sound, it's not the best. Ready? So this is a multi-directional bezel, as you can see. So on the bezel function, on how it feels, and the clicking sound, I give it a 4. On the bezel look, I give it a 9.5. If you know about this watch, this is the GMT, aka Coke. And then the clasp. If you know about this watch, you know it's got the T adjustable clasp. And this one is one of my second favorite clasps from my other watches because you can adjust it very easily, as you can see there. Pull, move, pull, and adjust. So if your wrist gets swollen or fluctuates, this is the perfect feature to have. So clasp, I'm gonna give this one an 8.5. So here's this one. Then second, we're gonna do my Zodiac Sea Wolf, which, as you can see, I haven't even worn this watch. Still has the tags. I haven't worn it not once. But if you know the story of the Sea Wolf, it is one of the original dive watches, dated right before Rolex. So this watch actually has a lot of heritage and history. It was purchased by the Fossil Group a few years back, and they really tried to do their best to revive this watch. This is one of the best watches you're gonna get for the money, though, guys. So if you wanna you're in the market to buy a dive watch, you younger kids out there, and can't afford a Rolex, don't buy a fake Rolex. Please don't be that person. Don't do that. It's something you don't want to do ever. Go and buy yourself this beautiful dive watch by Zodiac. Let's go ahead and take it off the holder. This one, obviously, I want to show you the clasp, but it's a leather strap, so it's not a, but I'll show you the buckle nonetheless. So, let's go ahead and begin with the actual clicking action and sound. The actual bezel is actually pretty solid, guys. It's pretty centered, as you can see. It's actually very well balanced. For the price, the way it feels is actually pretty good. I mean, it feels great. It feels solid. It feels, it doesn't feel cheap at all. It doesn't move. It doesn't sway back and forth. It's actually pretty solid. You know, just aluminum. It's not ceramic. It's got a nice, like a matte finish. So this watch, I love the crown. It's got the Zodiac logo. So all in all, I give this Zodiac a 7.5 in a sound, and then a bezel functionality or feel, I give it an 8. It's actually pretty good, man. So overall score, let's just go ahead and give it an 8 on the Zodiac. So third watch, of course, the legend of dive watches, whether you want to admit it or not, Omega guys. This right here is the iconic Submariner, no date. Or rather just Submariner, because the actual original Submariner has a no date, and then the one with date came afterwards. But this is the watch that first got me to appreciate the beauty of that bezel sound and the feel for it. So this is a Rolex Submariner reference 114060 with the maxi case. I did a whole video on it on my other on my YouTube channel, so go check it out. But for now, all we're gonna focus on is the actual sound, and then my overall thoughts on the actual functionality or feel of the bezel. So let's go ahead and take a look at it. Amazing. You really need to have this watch in your hands to understand the way this bezel feels. I mean, you can right away tell why Rolex is Rolex. It feels amazing. I'm gonna just jump straight to it. This gets a 10 out of 10. A 10 out of 10 in the beautiful black ceramic, a 10 out of 10 on the way it feels, and a 10 out of 10 out of 10 on the actual sound per click. So the Submariner stands king again when it comes to bezel rotation, action, and clicking sound. And then lastly on this one, of course, you get the Rolex iconic clasp, adjustable clasp, as well as the just like the Tudor, it's so easy to adjust from here, push, pull, and adjust. So 10 out of 10 overall on the classic Submariner. Now we're gonna go with my Breitling Superocean 44mm Heritage Edition. So here's a look at the clasp, and then the bracelet. Now this watch, guys, I gotta admit, well, let's go ahead and put the sound first, then we'll go on my thoughts. But it gets, right off the bat, I gave it a 10 as far as the bezel and the way it looks with the 18 karat gold, rose gold, and the black ceramic. It looks absolutely beautiful. I think this watch doesn't get enough credit, quite frankly. It is a beautiful watch, and funny enough, when I wear this watch, is the one that I get the most, I want to say the most look and the more comments from this watch, from the general public. The Rolex or my Panerai is people that know about watches, but this one, just the way it looks, I get a lot of compliments. But anyways, let's go ahead and check out the clicking sound and movement. All right, let's go, guys. The bezel is very solid. It's centered perfectly, but it doesn't feel good. The sound, on the sound, I give it a 7.5, guys. On the feel, I give it a 6.5. Quite frankly, I do think that the actual feel on the Zodiac, it's a little bit better than the Breitling. So I'm a little disappointed in the actual, the sound. And the way the bezel feels. For what you pay for this watch, I think is going for about $8,000 right now. So $8,000 for this watch, brand new, of course. I bought it brand new. Yeah, I think it can do a better job. I mean, quite frankly, I think it should feel more solid. It feels very raspy. It doesn't feel nearly as smooth as the Rolex. Just kind of feel raspy. Like it does just enough. I think that Brian understands that the watch is gonna make up for it with a beautiful bezel with a black ceramic. Obviously it's black, it looks like piano black, and also that beautiful bracelet. Sheesh. The clasp, yep, is not adjustable. Once again, I wish you can adjust it easy with a little pin or whatever. The overall clasp is pretty good quality, as you would expect from a watch at this price point. But I wish the Breitling would have done an adjustable clasp. I mean, if Tudor did it, they already showed a movement with the pelagos. Why not give it an adjustable clasp? So once again, clasps are one of those things that you come to appreciate more and more once you become a watch collector and you understand what that does. Obviously, you see it all scratched up because we're sitting on it, or wrist when we're on the computer or whatever. I don't care what the scratches is going to happen, but I wish that the clasp was a little bit better, a little bit bigger would have been nice. And I just wish you could adjust it. But on the clasp, I don't know, I'll give it a 6. Quality, I give it an 8, but the actual clasp itself, the bracelet, I give it a 10. 100% the bracelet gets a 10 on this beautiful watch. I know the new ones, the new 2025 model has the, I don't know what we call it, the cover here, like the Rolex, so you don't have a gap. This is a heritage edition, so it's kind of cool to go back how it was in the 50s, which I like. At first I wasn't a fan of it, but now when you understand how it's part of the history, right? So there you go, guys. And then lastly, this is gonna be a little bit of the same thing, but being that this is a December of 2024 model, my other 114060 is the 2019 model. So I wanted to use the sounds. I wanted to share the sound as well, just to see if Rolex did some adjustments. As you know, Rolex does subtle changes. In this watch, for example, the bracelet is thicker, the clasp is thicker, and there's a 41 millimeter, and it's got the lug to lug is a little bit smaller, so the actual case is thinner, more like the original Kermit. So if you put them side by side, you'll see the difference. One's a maxi case and one is has a smaller case. So again, I did a video on that, go check it out. But let's go ahead and check the clicking sound and the bezel action. Let me know if you can hear the difference between this one and the black sub. What do you guys think? Oh, let's not forget the clasp, which very similar to the other one. So I'll scratch up, yes, of course, it is what it is. I wear it every day. But it's thicker than the other one. Let me see if I can get a side by side. You guys can get a better look. Let's see if I can get it. Come on. See? It's thicker than the 114060, and so is the bracelet. Now what is that? So the new Rolex has a thicker bracelet, more squared. This one kind of tempered down a little bit, and then here it is. Here's a better look. You see the difference in thickness. So I do gotta give it again a 10 on the clasp, and I gotta give it a 10 on the sound, and a 10 on the bezel action, and then the 10 on the actual bezel look. Obviously, this one is one of the highly favorites when it comes to the Submariners. This is the 2024, almost 25 by 1 month, which is the Mark II, which is the second generation of the Starbucks edition. So this one has the green's a little bit lighter than the Starbucks. You can't tell here unless you put them side by side, but the green is actually more of that Rolex green that you see on the Rolex boxes. It is rumored that this was on the anniversary of Rolex. I can't remember if it was 60 years. I think the Kermit came out in 50th anniversary. This is like this, I can't remember, guys, but I'm making stuff up probably, but I gave it a 10 overall. Once again, to all my non-Rolex loving people out there, before you hate on Rolex, appreciate the watch for what it is. If you own a Rolex or multiple ones like I do, you do understand how great this watch feels overall. It's an amazing timepiece. Yes, I'm not saying go pay the the $16,000 that the watch is going for, 15.5 to 16 grand. I bought that one from the AD at a regular MSRP, so it's a good deal, right? Because the car appreciates already, so you already come out making money. That's what you worry about. It's a great watch. All my watches are great. Wrist check, I'm wearing my Panerai La Jolla Boutique Edition. So this is one of my favorite watches as well. Now this one, being that it is a dive watch, technically it's a Luminor Marina, it doesn't have a bezel. That'll be for the submersible Panerai. So it's a great watch. I don't have a submersible. I opted to get this one because it's a beautiful watch. It was part of my anniversary gift from my wife. So she asked me, and I said, this is what I want. This is the La Jolla Cove in the Back, Boutique Edition. Stunning watch. If you've ever been to La Jolla in San Diego, California, you know what I'm talking about, and you're gonna learn to appreciate its beauty. Look. This also has the what do you call it? Right in the center, right there. You can see, there it is. That is what the frogmen used in World War II to blow up ships. They used to ride torpedoes. So you see right there, 2 frogmen riding the torpedoes. So this one has that in the bezel, which is a cool thing to have. But yeah, this one has no bezel action, no bezel at all. That is for the submersible. I prefer, quite frankly, like this one better than the actual other one. I think that obviously Rolex was one of the pioneers when it comes to the design, classic design. I think everybody else is trying to copy a little bit, which is what they all do. But I don't know, guys. What do you guys think? Who wins? Who wins on sound? Who wins on looks? Who wins at, I don't know, overall? Who takes it, right? Obviously, I gotta say, without being biased, because if Rolex is Rolex, obviously I gotta give it to the subs. So the subs win. Last place is gonna be the Tudor. Then again, guys, it's the GMT. It's not a dive watch, so I don't know if that should even count. And then the Zodiac, then the Breitling. Well, I do have one more that I didn't show you guys. Seiko 5 GMT has no sound whatsoever. Completely smooth, no sound at all. But hey, It's got a nice dial for the price you pay. It's like 350, 400 bucks. Can't beat that, right? So here's a great watch to get if you are on a budget and you want a nice watch to wear. But that is it, guys. Those are my dive watches that I own. Let me know what you think. Who takes it? As always, please subscribe, comment, like. Let me know what you think. I appreciate if you guys give honest answers, especially if you're an Omega person. I understand that there's no love there sometimes, but they're all beautiful watches. I own a few Omegas myself, so I love those watches. I do want to get a Seamaster, but I'm still thinking of getting the Apollo 8 mission Dark Side of the Moon first. So we'll see where that goes. I have my name on the waiting list for the Batgirl for my Rolex AD where I bought my green sub. So let's see where that goes. And then if all goes well, I'll do a video if I buy that watch. But thanks for watching, guys. I really appreciate your time. I hope you guys have a blessed Saturday. God bless and take care. And I'm going to say it in Spanish because I'm wearing the San Diego Padres Mexican edition jersey. God bless. Gracias por todo.